We have been discussing day before yesterday also when we were talked about the curriculum for the industry. We also talked about why the industry has grown to such an extent that the gap between the requirement of the industry and between what our students have the skill, the gap is increasing on a regular basis. And we also discussed that how we can modify our teaching process in the classrooms, where we can probably uh, teach them more experiential learning, more about what is actually required by the industry. Now, another methodology of teaching them in a more proficient way is basically what we call as the project based learning. When we say projects, yes, we all give projects to our students at the end of second year, or maybe at the in the last semester of the curriculum. But the point here is that enough? If they do one or two odd projects in their 3 year career, is that enough, or we require something more? Now, why we want to have a project based learning? When we have so much of the curriculum, when we teach in the class, we give them the examples, we take them to our laboratories, we show them few of the experiments, they also conduct the experiments. But why project based learning? Well, we always say that tell me and I will forget. What we teach in the class, the students are likely to forget that. Then he says that, okay, by just interaction I might forget, but if I see the things visually, the person will remember it. So instead of that, I only teach them, I only converse with them. Let us show them something. But then we say that involve me. When we involve the person in a particular project or particular experiment, he understands the nitty gritties of the project. But when we say that let the student do it himself with his own hands, he will become creative. And today, the need we discussed that, on all of you agreed that creativity is the need of the day, innovation is the need of the day. So instead of that, we only teach them, or we show them some experiments, or we involve them in few of the experiments. Let us allow them to do it themselves, do something different themselves. Successful or not successful is not the question here. It is that whether he tried doing with his own hands or not. If we talk of, say, architecture, one of our colleagues sitting here is from that field. Have we allowed him to draw or to make plans with his own hands, or we have been mentoring him all through, we have been guiding him? Have we given him autonomy to do it? And friends, my experience is that as we give the autonomy, as we make them independent, the creativity in them comes out of it. Because then they think, then they feel that, okay, I can do whatever I want to do, irrespective what my senior or my teacher is asking me to do. Let me do it myself in my way. That is what is required in the industry. Now, a myth comes, or many questions comes in the mind. Are they allowed to experiment in the industry, or they have to either take guidance or involve the seniors into it? Well, friends, today the industry has evolved. Today they say experiment it yourself. Even if it fails, it costs the company, yes, financially, yes, it costs the company, the experiment has failed, there may have been a loss in it, but still the industry says, please keep on experimenting of your own, and one day they will be successful. So that is what is required today. Give independence to them to do something with their own way, in their own style. Now, does the technical people settle for competitive compensation, or they look for job satisfaction and faster growth opportunities? The question here again comes, that are engineers, are they looking for a compensation only, or they are looking for job satisfaction and growth opportunities? The answer, if I ask 100 students, the answer will be mixed. Some of them will say that we want a higher compensation, the higher salary, but some of them will say that we are looking for job satisfaction, we are looking for growth opportunities. Now, both the things, both the sides have their own pros and cons. Those who are looking for high compensation certainly say that we have studied so much, our parents have invested so much in our studies, so we must get a good salary when we start a job. But some of them says that okay, even if the financial compensation is less, but there is a job satisfaction and opportunities to grow, we would like to go in for such a job. Now, those who are settling for a higher compensation with very little growth opportunities may not be able to reach a higher level, a higher growth at the during their career or at the end of their career. But those who are looking for job satisfaction, those who are looking for growth opportunities, will certainly grow in their professional life. Now, if they have to grow, if they want their job satisfaction, if they don't want a monotonous job on a daily basis, is multi-skilling or upskilling the answer? If you have to really grow, if our students have to grow, probably they will have to go in for what is upskilling and what we call as the multi-skilling. When we say multi-skilling, we are talking of skills in their related field as well as in their allied fields. And when we say upskilling, we are talking of upskilling their skills into a next level. So today we are talking of uh, low cost automation. Tomorrow they might ask for robots. Third day they might ask for generative AI. So they will have to keep on upskilling themselves if they are looking for growth opportunities. And the answer for this is hands on training. We may teach them in the classroom about their own domain, allied domains, their own subjects, allied subjects. We might teach them the latest technologies in the classroom, maybe in the laboratories also. But what we feel and what I have experienced in my 35 years of career in the industry, anybody who is trained with his own hands, he has worked with his own hands. What we say that he has blackened his hands with work will grow much faster. The basic system of education is undergoing a change. If we really recall that when we were the students, and probably when you were the students also, there was very little interaction between the teacher and the student. The teacher used to come to the class, deliver a lecture. We used to note down the notes, remember the notes, whatever has been written, and just used to write down in the exam. And we used to get good marks, and then subsequently admissions to the different colleges and the universities. As we discussed, friends, yesterday, fourth industrial revolution is almost over, and we are entering into the fifth industrial revolution, which is already knocking the doors in the US and the developed countries, and we in India are not far away from that. Similarly, the education system has also undergone various changes. What was there 40 years, 30 years back is no longer the methodology today. That day also, one of our colleagues was talking about flip teaching, flip mode of teaching. So that is when we say that there is a revolution in the education methodology. Today, when we say education methodology, I'm talking of the third revolution in education. First and second, we have all experienced. It is student-centering approach. It used to be a teacher-centered approach. The teacher used to come and deliver. Now it is what student requires. The teacher is now more of a coordinator or a facilitator. We discussed that day also that the information is available across the globe to every student, however remote he may be residing or learning. The job of the teacher has become more of a facilitator and a guide. So there is a difference now. And the student himself has become a researcher because he can go through a lot of informations which are available. And that is what we said, flipped classroom method is applicable now. And the old teaching methodologies are no more required, or they don't exist. And in few of the institutes, they are now not calling the number of lectures or number of periods attended. We are talking of learning plans. What will the student learn out of our teaching today? The objective is to impart learning knowledge to them. Will our teaching today in the classroom or in the laboratory or in outside the laboratory, what will he learn is the point of discussion now. And if we move slightly forward, and what is going to come is the fourth educational revolution, which will be centered towards innovation and creativity. Co-creation and innovation will be the center. We will be assisting them to learn something new. And they say the learning is done either at home or outside, whereas the skills will be developed in our institutes. So whatever he has to learn, the information, yes, he can do it outside our institute also. But here in our institute, we will develop their skills. So there is going to be a 100% change in the shift that how the students are going to be taught. And we will be shortly moving towards personalized teaching and learning process as per the requirement of the student. And then, as the developed countries have started calling, learning plans are now being called creativity plans. Education 3.0, we were talking of what the student has learned. Education 4.0 will be talking of what the student has created today, what type of innovation he is talking of, what type of new technology he is talking of, how he is going to use the new technology. That is what the education 4.0 will be talking of. And let me tell you, friends, we are not far away from it. Yes, to some extent, in some of the colleges, we are still at 3.0. Maybe in some institutes, we might be only at 2.0 also. But the survival is 4.0 when we talk of personalized training, learning, and creative plans. The basic structure of the classroom is going to change. It will be no more a student sitting in front of the classroom, it will be more of a discussion room. And continuous evolution, continuous innovation is the requirement of the day. And that is where we will help them develop their skills. And if I go around the most of the institutes in the technical field, we are still at 3.0. Yes, we have shifted to flip type of classrooms, we have shifted to the new way of teaching, but we are still far away from calling ourselves as creators. Our students are still doing some of the old type of things, remembering the data, remembering the, I should say, the the knowledge which we are giving. They have yet to convert that knowledge into a practical use, and that is what we call as developing skills. We need to teach them that how this knowledge can be used on a daily basis. And the industry is looking for such type of students who can use their knowledge to the advantage of the industry. And as I said earlier, that the practical use, the hands-on training is the only solution for developing this skill. The more we give practice to them, the more we allow them to work of their own in their own way and try to reach the objectives, achieve the objectives, the better they will be in solving problems, facing problems, finding solutions. And that is the skills we are all looking for in the industry. Now, before that, we move forward, that how projects can be taken and what are the basic advantages. I'm sure most of you agree that project is one of the good methodologies of teaching students, and uh, we must be following that. But before that, I want to tell you what is in store for us in the next maybe a year or two, and that is the fifth industrial revolution. We are already through with the four, and the students, when they pass out from our institutes, are going to face this fifth industrial revolution, which has already been adopted by some of the developed countries. Yes, in developing countries we are slightly away from it, but it won't take more than 2 to 3 years for us to adopt that technology also. We are already into artificial intelligence, we are already into generative AIs, we are already into machine learning and cyber security, we are already into networking. But fifth industrial revolution is what our students are going to face. And let me tell you that fifth industrial revolution, when it comes, it will be more targeted toward human beings. And if we look at the proposed uh, use of human beings, proposed use of the knowledge of human beings, When we say 3.0, friends, we were talking of computerization. When the computers came to our offices, when computers came to the industry, when computers came to our homes. In Industry 4.0, we said computerization along with digitization. That means digital technology was introduced in 4.0. But when we will be talking of 5.0, we will be talking of course, the computers. We'll be talking, of course, about the digital technology, but we will also be talking of human use of the technology. Now, how we are going to add humanization into it, I'll just give you a small example that we aim to combine the strengths of human workers and machines. Before 3.0, it was pure human worker. 3.0, we added computerization to help the worker. When I say worker, it means that anybody who is into the field, into the technical field. 4.0 was still more, but we went into robots, and we say that the repetitive job of a human being was overtaken by a robo, and in the most of the industries, robots are working and human beings are not being properly used. But when we talk of 5.0, it is going to be human centric manufacturing. The robots are going to interact on a real time base with the humans. Some of the instructions will be given by humans to the robots, and some of the outputs from the robots will come back to us. And then the person sitting there will decide which is the best methodology to work here, how I can solve the problems. Inputs will be given by the robots, outputs will be decided by the human beings. Now, for example, I'll give you an example for the manufacturing process, maybe in an automobile. See, today, design is done by a human being, and the robo is only following what we are saying. But in 5.3, the robo will give its own input that there is a better way to design. The software will give you an input that there is a better way to design, and these are the 4 different solutions which are possible. The person sitting in front of that software will decide which one to use. So we will be adding the human factor in the Industry 5.0, and that is when we say to be creative, innovative decision maker. When we have Industry 5.0 into it, we will be talking of manufacturing processes which are flexible and are changed with the market demand. See, now at this moment, the robo is manufacturing what the software has been fed to it, and it is repeating. 5.0, the manufacturing processes will become flexible. They will change as per the demand of the customer. And we will be able to provide a product as per the requirement of the customer. If I say, for example, today a customer wants to buy a car which will have right side with a blue paint, left side with a white paint, top with a black paint. At this moment, the present technology is not geared up to manufacture cars in such a way that next car is having a different color, the third car is having a different color, all those. But when we talk of 5.0, we'll be able to provide that uh, customization of the product also. Whatever we will require, the manufacturing process will change itself, and there will be no batch production. And of course, when we will be talking of 5.0, friends, we'll be talking of sustainability also. We will have to reduce the wastages. We will have to improve sustainability in the manufacturing process. We will have to use renewable energy, reducing the source of energy, improving recycling. All those things will be a part of it. Now you can imagine that how the practical hands-on training going to help our students enter into the fifth industrial revolution. And when we talk of industrial revolution, we are just talking of another thing. We give the input, we talk about the output, then we talk about the outcome. Now, the fourth thing will be what is the impact of his learning. Today, our curriculum talks about the outcome of the curriculum. What is the outcome? What is the objective? What is the outcome? But then we'll be talking of what is the impact of that learning on the product, on the society, in the world. Can he make a change? Probably, if I'm not wrong, friends, we are as yet talking only of outcome of the curriculum. Am I right? We only talk what is the outcome of the curriculum without giving a weightage whether that outcome can be used, does it make an impact or not. So the next time when we start working on curriculums, as has been done in the developed countries, we'll be talking of impact. Whatever we have learned earlier, we used to say what is the output. Then we started saying what is the outcome. And now we'll be talking of what is the impact on the society in the world. And all these things, till outcome, it was more a teaching process. Impact means using those knowledges, using those skills to give an impact to the world. And that's why we say that hands on training will make people more creative. We will have to give more time, more opportunities to our students for hands on training. Whatever we may say, that they require information, they require knowledge. Yes, that role of converting the information to the knowledge lies with us. But now we will also be talking of how to convert that knowledge into practical use. So that's why we say we need to change the pedagogy. Wherever the institutes, the faculty members have changed the pedagogy of teaching, the results have been marvelous, beyond what they were expected by the faculty members themselves. If we really look at the IQ level or the skill level of small children today, we say that they have much more intelligence than what we used to have. They already are into creating few things. And today, when we use this knowledge for their growth, for their development, for their skills, it will make a huge difference. So that's what we say, learning activities like project work, laboratory work, thinking, and work oriented lectures. Work oriented lectures with examples. Anything which we teach in a classroom with example will certainly have much more impact than only teaching them. So the conventional LTP based credit system has also gone under a change as we are moving towards flexible system. We need to find out that how more projects can be given, or how hands-on training can be given to the students for their skill development. And if we go by this photograph, we say that how much they learn from theory is not much. When they do it in the laboratories, yes, they do learn. But when they do with their own hands and commit mistakes, that is what learning is. And I'm pretty sure that most of us are trying to shift to practical based learning or project based learning. Uh, anybody from the center, what are your views on project based learning? Are we shifting over to that side, or we are still into the old teaching methods? Anybody who would like to comment on that? So we are gradually shifting to the more hands-on training rather than the. Pardon?
Sir, actually, project-based learning. I want to talk something on this.
Please, ma'am.
Uh, yes, I am Dr. Archana Shirbate from Anjuman College of Engineering and Technology.
Yeah,
Sir,
ma'am.
project-based learning is actually the instructional approach where
Yeah.
students are actively engaged in real-world and meaningful project to develop the knowledge, skills, and problem-solving capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is a collaboration of theory and practical applications of concept where traditional classroom teachings that is not involved, and that's why it becomes very interesting for the students point of view. And
Right.
I think, sir, for final year students, we are morely emphasize on the project, but it should we start from third year, and here we are trying to develop the skills of the students towards technical training. It's a innovate inquiry and innovation for creativity towards the technical training. This is about the project based learning, sir. I think, sir.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Ma'am, since you say that you have introduced project-based learning, so well, the time with you is limited, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, how have you been able to shift more towards project-based learning?
So actually nowadays my college is affiliated to university.
Yeah.
Unless and until we go for the autonomy, we cannot do anything, sir, because it is not in our hand now. But absolutely, when our institute become autonomy, so we can shift it more on the project based learning, sir.
Absolutely right, ma'am. That is why probably the NEP is talking of more autonomies to the colleges rather than going by what the university says in their rules and regulations. So as soon as you get an autonomy and you start making your own curriculums, you start making your own systems. So probably you would like to reduce the number of theory lectures and increase the practical and the projects, right, ma'am?
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving your inputs. Anybody
Thank you,
else
sir.
who
Sir,
would
good
like
morning.
to share?
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, we are from Erode Sengundar Engineering College. It is one of the remote center. We joined here. In our remote center, 41 participants are there, and they are
Mhm.
listening in the FTP, sir. Sir, actually, in the case of project-based learning, since we are autonomous and affiliated to Anna University, what we have done in the curriculum itself is we have introduced a mini project in the third year itself, in the sixth semester, and seventh semester we have a project phase one, and eighth semester we have a project phase two, and we are motivating our students to do the industrial oriented projects, so that from third year onwards we have introduced a project based learning, And as you said, sir, we have reduced the credits of theory subjects, and we have increased the projects credits, and also we made internship as an mandatory course in the fifth semester, so that the students have attached, they are working in an industry from third year onwards. So something we can implement in our institution also, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now you said third year onwards, right? Out
Sir.
of the 4 year course. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Third year and final year, we are
Fine.
making our
Now,
students to participate in the industry.
now can we introduce some small projects, maybe a day or 2 hours or 5 hours project in the second year also?
Sir, actually, we are motivating our students from first year onwards.
Right.
Only on 10% of the students is turned up with an incubation center and IoT center and project development center and drone development center. We have it in our institution. Or 10%
Mhm.
of our students turned up, sir. But still more, we need to improve it to 50%. Uh,
Absolutely right. So that means you have tasted the success of the projects, and
yes, sir.
probably you would like to take it to the first year and second year also, so that the students are able to implement the knowledge that you are giving in the classroom into a practical shape.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, friend. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your inputs. Anybody in the present in the knitter here in the physical mode? Any inputs from you?
Sir, one problem we generally face is for undergrad education in BB or MB students. So basically, in the final year, we gave them a research project, sir.
Right.
Sir. So basically, you know very well that they have to collect the responses from the respondents, and they have to shut down the responses whatever they are trying to say, right, sir?
Hmm.
And we basically say that if we have a class of 50, 20 to 30 students actually do participate in, actually do they make their own questionnaire? Definitely, sir. But 20 students, most of the students generally buy projects from the outside. They generally have cut, copy, paste.
Right.
So basically, we generally face that thing. So, what do your input, sir? I would say to mitigate that thing, sir.
See, one thing is that we should not allow anybody to repeat a project which has been done earlier in their institute,
Yeah.
right? And second is they require a motivation. Now, why do they go and buy the projects? Because, see, I'll give you practical examples. When we go and conduct interviews for the placement, right? We generally ask about what is the project that you have done, and the student will show us the big good files which are printed, this and this. But when you start asking questions that what really you have done in that, the interviewer will come to know whether he has done it or he has bought the project, right? Anybody who has done it with his own hands will be able to answer a lot of questions, right? So here it will make a difference between the employability and non-employability. Those, the one who have bought the project will never get the proper employment in their job. Second, who evaluates your projects?
We give project supervisor, sir. Like I am a project supervisor for the 5 or 6 disciplines.
So why don't we request the industry experts to come and evaluate the project? Now, when he will come, he will have no obligation either to pass a student or to fail a student. He will go by the merit, right? Anybody who has bought a project will not be able to stand through his questionnaires.
Sir, generally at the supervisor, we generally have to pass those sign the projects. At the end, they have to present. They have to appear for the project Bible. Right, sir. Then they do not have any obligation for that. When they have the project Bible, they do can fail. But generally, the general practice have been going in PU as well in most of the university that if the student cannot even have answer, they just
We clear them. So
yes.
that
So 100 out of 80 general practice over there, sir. Generally, who gives the answer, 95 or 98 would they would get, sir.
so that is now the external examiner is not fair,
Yeah.
right?
Sir, he comes to help us out, sir, basically. What you're saying is,
Yes, sir. Sir.
he should be in a commanding position.
Yeah, he is supposed to be in a commanding position.
Instigate the student.
Yes.
तो पहले भी होता है कि जूनियर जो आते हैं उनको भी बिठाना चाहिए।
हाँ, सिंह से you agree ना, ऐसा होता है।
सर होता है,
जूनियर को भी बिठाओ ताकि उनको दंडात्मक प्रावधानों का भी।
सर इंटरव्यू तो बहुत दूर की बात है, वो तो वहीं भी फेल हो जाता है सर।
सी
वाइवा भी
ये
fail हो
करें, फेल करने के लिए आउटलुक अपने को भी चेंज करना है। पर यहाँ मैं एक
Sir,
चीज कह रहा हूँ,
when the external says that I am not going to pass him, the faculty member would say, नहीं sir, please clear कर दीजिए.
हाँ ये होता है।
Finally,
सही सही कह रहे हैं।
Right? See, I have witnessed an external person who was interviewing for this project work. Now, unfortunately, that project work was not signed by the supervisor, right? And he refused to take the viva. And he made 0. He said, sorry. If the supervisor has not been involved in the project and you have not even shown it to him, the process is not complete, I won't conduct the viva. See, the external is under no obligation to pass him. He is under slight obligation to pass when a faculty member says so.
It should be absolute authority actually to guide us also.
Use his shoulder to reject a candidate. That external has done it, what can I do?
Yeah, actually test him, sir. Other thing
Right?
that we fail him, to
See,
test him or let him
so
know
we
about
have
the
to be
thing.
more ethical when we talk of projects and whether they have done it or not. Because once this process starts, that buying a project, today 30% must be doing it, tomorrow 40 will do it, then 50% will do it. But if you start saying no, from 30 it will become 25, then it will become 20, and finally you'll be able to achieve it. And we have seen those who do the projects with their own hands, even if it is a research project, they are really successful in their profession. So let's do our duties in a more ethical and legal way, rather than saying that my all students have passed, or right. Yeah.
Sir, one question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, project should be given individual or in a group.
Can be in anything, depends upon you
Sir,
or
कई
the
बार
student.
उसमें क्या होता है कि जैसे ग्रुप में दे देते हैं, 4 जने काम कर रहे हैं, 5वां काम नहीं कर रहा है।
बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हो
उसको मार्क्स दिए जाते हैं और पास हो जाता है इजी।
सर, एक्सटर्नल पे डिपेंड करता है. ही विल कम टू नो हु हैज नॉट वर्कड, right? But slowly and slowly, what we have observed in the industry is, generally it is never a project which is individual. It is a teamwork. One may be from quality team, one might be from production, might be from R&D, right? And there also this happens. And the credit goes to the team. The credit always goes to the team, whether one of them has worked or not, right? But then slowly and slowly that one person will start working. Because yesterday we said, let's complement the skills of everybody. That fifth person must be good at something, maybe writing. He might be good at something, maybe going out and collecting data. He may not like to work on the shop floor. Let's give him that job, that work, which he likes. And slowly he will say that these 4 are working, I am not working, though I am getting a credit, right? But he will come into the mainstream. We might face these problems. We do face in the problems in the industry also. We always say the one who is working hard is given more jobs. Responsibility lies more, right? But you cannot ignore the fifth. You have to take him along. He has some qualities in them. We'll use those. And second thing is the project. When we allocate the project, do we allocate it ourselves, or do the students find out which project he wants to do? Students have the discretion. Now, how do they find out? How do they find out?
Generally, it's MBA and undergrad. The student is the discipline.
In architecture, actually, basically.
So we are talking of how do we identify the projects. That is the most important thing when we talk of project-based learning. See, there are two words which we use for the benefit of everybody. One is project-based learning and second is learning before project. There are two things. Project-based learning purely talks of that even if the something has not been taught in the class, but still it is in the project, let the student learn of his own. I'll just show you. Yeah. When we talk of project-based learning, it is not that everything has been covered in the class and then the project is given. When we talk of project-based learning, we are talking of that student has to find its own project. He may have to learn in the process. When we talk of learning before project, that means that we have to teach him first and then give him a project. If we go by the project-based learning, where he has to learn something more than what it has been taught in the class, will carry much more weight. So let's when we allocate the project, let's think, is it a bought out project he's talking of, or he's talking of something new? And people say that creative projects work best with the high scoring students. No. Creative projects best work with anybody who has a creative mind. Time is not a limitation. And some students say, sir, I am not creative, I can't do a project, which is again a myth. Everybody wants to learn, needs a motivation, a process to learn. Now, what happens is the level of education and the knowledge of a teacher largely will help the student to complete a project. Now, I want to ask one thing from the teachers. We take our students to the industry visit, am I right, ma'am? In the nodal centers, we take students to the industry. Nodal centers to please respond.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, why do we take them there? What is the objective?
Objective is that, sir, ke, students should learn about the practical fields related to
Okay,
academics.
fine. So they should see something practically when they go to the visit, right? Now, if we speak really from our heart, is it a visit to really, do they really learn from the visit, or it is an excursion for them? They go out, enjoy, talk to people, eat something, and come back. How many students really learn from the industry visit? Ma'am, please. I have experimented this new
Sometimes
methodology
they
of
learn, sir, and sometimes not.
yeah, exactly. Now we experimented, ma'am, a new methodology of structured visit to the industry. One, when they come back, everybody has to write one page of what he has learned in the industry, which carries a weightage. And second
Actually,
is
in
that
my college, we are used to take the feedback when the students we send to the visit. Before visit, how much is the knowledge, and after visit, how much they have a knowledge. So
yeah. So
we do this practice in our college, sir.
what is the learning they have done in that one day, right, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if we do this, probably 70 to 80% students will learn something from the visit.
Yes, sir.
Now, the second point is that during the visit, could we identify a small problem on which a project can be based? Because the faculty members do accompany the students, they go around the visit, they are briefed about what is the industry and what they are doing. In that process, if we are able to identify 2 or 3 small projects which might take 2 days, which might take 1 week to work on, can we identify those projects during our visit or not? So if we are able to identify those projects, probably we are talking of real world issues which can be resolved. That is one way of finding out which projects and how to take care of these issues. Second thing, ma'am, which I want to ask all the faculty members is, we are all talking of uh, apprenticeship training projects, we are all talking of visits to the industry for the students. What about the visits to the industry by the faculty members only to learn the new technology, to familiarize themselves with the latest technology, and in case the industry is facing a problem, to give a solution to that problem? We all talk about visits of the students to the industry. Our curriculums, our teaching system, our education system is not talking of upgrading the practical knowledge of the faculty members. Am I right? Have we been given a training of 2 months or 2 weeks or 1 month in the industry to upgrade the knowledge which we are supposed to impart to the students?
Not on priority.
Not the priority.
Never a priority.
So when we were talking to give examples, now from where will the faculty member bring an example unless and until he has spent a lot of time there? So when we talk of project-based learning, we also talk of upgrading the skills and the knowledge of students in the practical field. Yes, theoretical field, they must have studied a lot of papers, they must have studied a lot of books. Fine. But when we are talking of fourth industrial revolution, when we are talking of fifth industrial revolution, have our teachers, faculty members been exposed to the fourth industrial revolution or not? Are we aware what is the latest technologies which are available in the market? Be it a service industry, what are the new methodologies of, say, working more efficiently? We talk of lean management, we talk of total quality management systems, but are the faculty members exposed to that environment or not? Anybody would like to respond from the nodal centers?
Sir, actually,
Yeah,
there should be a teachers in the industry, but our curriculum doesn't permit us. Sir.
agreed. That is what we are looking for, a change. What we are looking is that yes, we are supposed to teach our students, but we must upgrade ourselves also as far as the practical knowledge is concerned.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we want that when, well, all of us are senior faculty members, can we introduce upgradation of skills of the faculty members so that they can give examples, they can quote examples, they know how the industry is working. Supposing today I talk of automation in an automobile industry, the complete assembly line is automated, there is no person who is doing a physical job. Have our faculty members from mechanical engineering, automobile engineering, IT, software engineering, have they been exposed to that environment or not? Have they gone there, stood there for maybe a day or two just to understand the new technology? What type of softwares are being used? How those softwares are being maintained? How the robots are working? So that is also a point of discussion today. How can we make our faculty members aware of the latest technologies that are being introduced in the market? See, we talk of inventory management. Yes, all of you might have studied, those who are into inventory management control, all of you must have studied that yes, there are some ERPs available, there is systems available, softwares are available, we can manage our inventory this way. But has somebody really worked on it to see how the inventories can be managed or not? We can give projects to the students, we can guide them only if we are aware of the methodology what they are going to follow. Anybody from nodal center who has changed over to faculty trainings also? Anybody?
Yes, sir. Pardon, please.
Pardon?
Hello. Pardon,
Yeah,
please, sir.
ma'am, what I am trying is that we are giving trainings through apprenticeship programs to the students. Any institute who has formulated a training program for the teachers?
Sir, no, sir.
No.
No.
So
Sir,
It
don't
is
you
an
feel?
excellent idea, but we have not implemented this. But it is
Yeah,
an excellent idea. Then only we can able to teach the students. It is a really an innovative idea. We can make the students to prepare for an industry-ready students. Thank you, sir.
absolutely.
Thank you for your input, sir.
So actually, you are in consultancy.
Yeah,
That is the reason why you are talking about a change pattern.
yeah.
But the problem is when we are safeguarded by our officers, actually they are not open to such ideas.
So this is what I am trying to make them open.
Till liberty is not granted to the staff to perform.
Yes, this is what our education system today is, that the faculty members have no way to go to the industry and spend a week or 10 days there.
Neither convince the higher ups that
And now,
this
so
is it.
this is what I want, that at least those institutes who have the autonomy, those who have independently working, can we introduce this subject,
Change the pattern.
change the pattern. I am going to teach something to the students, right, for which I have no exposure. What I am going to teach,
How that will impact it.
how will it give an impact? So the first is my learning,
Yeah, scaling we can.
upskilling, my own upskilling, my own upgradation of the knowledge. And let me tell you, if you spend one day in the industry, you will come back with 10 examples which you can relate to the students next day.
And be better, become a better communicator.
And become a better communicator. You know what is actually happening. So I always try to convince the top management, and probably you can also do it, that please allow the faculty members to visit the industry frequently, spend a week there. It is not going to matter. You are going to complete your curriculum still within the time limit. But if you spend a week there, probably your knowledge is going to be multiplied by maybe 5x or 10x. And I many a times tell the managements and the directors to please, when we talk of yeah, faculty members must upgrade their skill to guide the students, and that is possible only if our education system allows that. Because we have seen that wherever the faculty members have an exposure to the latest technologies, the knowledge of the students have gone up. So I would request that whosoever is able to convince their top management or the directors or the HODs to allow them to visit industries frequently, maybe once in 1 week, 1 week in 6 months or 1 year, whatever is suitable. We must go. Today we are talking of robots, we are talking of cybersecurity, we are talking of IoT, we talk of everything, but we are only talking about it. We have not experienced it. We are talking of inventory management. We talk of manless working in a warehouse. We see a lot of robots working, picking up the material, this. But this is only what we have seen in photographs and movies and videos. Have we ever gone there in a warehouse, those who are into inventory control, that how actually it is happening and what are the problems they are being faced? What we see in videos is absolutely with flawless working, but there must be some problems which needs to be resolved. But we have not experienced it, so we say that everything works smooth. There is no hindrance in the working.
So sorry to disturb you here.
Please, ma'am.
Actually, it's a very excellent idea. Okay, we have to collect the data, we have to go to the industry, identify the problem and resolve it. We are many times trying to solve because I'm the supervisor, PhD supervisor, and I'm giving the topic, recent topic to the students. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, many times the industries don't permit us to give the proper data even.
Right, ma'am. Absolutely. Have you ever analyzed, ma'am, why they are not hesitant to do it?
I don't understand ki why they have such a problem because one project is the PLC SCADA in MSCB, and for that I want the data for that load sharing. कि last Diwali में कितना load लग रहा था, what is the demand and supply, so
Right.
that accordingly we can go for the load shedding. But they are not able to give us the data and they don't even permit us, sir.
Ma'am, what my observation is, it may be right, it may be wrong. It is the trust between the two which is missing.
Sir, this
The
is not one example, sir. I many times get this answer from my students, those who are doing the PhD, and when I'm sending them to the practical field for collecting the data, many students they are giving me such answers that they don't allow us
yeah,
because solar tracking. So whatever the real-time data we require from the industry, they don't even permit, sir. Many times
ma'am,
this happens.
I agree with you that there is a trust issue between the two, the academia and the industry. The only thing that we have done here with some of the institute is that we have entered into an MOU with those industries with a clear cut indication and written commitment that the data will be shared between the two but will not be made public. Yes, they want that the data should not be made public, it should not be in a public domain, but they will be able to share the data with the teachers. And that the written understanding we have made with few of the industries here in North India. So after that, they have started giving us some data. I won't say they have given all the confidential data of design or something, but the daily routine data, which of production data, inventory control data, or like you said, what is the power load, how much shedding was done, they have started sharing that data. Now we have to make a trust between the two of us, because they say that
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Unless and until they share the data, we cannot solve their problem.
well,
But we are here to solve their problems
it,
actually.
it happened with us also, but slowly and slowly we are trying to build a trust between the two, that this data will not go to the public domain.
Definitely, you can have.
So and we have got a written MOU signed with them, that our teachers will go there, they will collect the data, they will come back and share their reports with the industry, that what are their views on that, what is the analysis they have done. Probably, yes, ma'am, what you are saying is right. Industry was not open to the sharing of the data. And earlier, if you recall, it was not open even for the visits of the students also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But now, ma'am, with the technology which is available worldwide, with the technology which everybody is using is known to the competitors, probably that embargo of visit is being lifted, and slowly we'll start sharing the data also. I am also from industry, and I also used to have my limitations, that why should I share my data with others. But when we saw that
Okay.
I am going to get an advantage out of it, because you will analyze the data for us, right? And we will be able to find a solution to the problem which we have not been able to do so far. Probably we'll start sharing it, and keep trying, ma'am, and one day this trust barrier will be broken. The only thing how we have done is sorry, ma'am, if you recall, you have so many conferences around the country where the papers are presented by the academicians. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
How many industry people have presented their papers in those conferences?
Very few.
Very few. So that means there is a barrier. And similarly, if I say the conferences which are organized by the industry, maybe PhD Chamber of Commerce, maybe by CII, how many teachers have presented their research work there?
Very few.
Very few, right? So that means we are talking of two different domains. One is industry, which is confined to themselves. One is academia, which is confined to themselves. And we are not trying to take advantage of each other. When you have the
And this is basic problem, sir. This is basic problem actually.
so when you have the conference next time, ma'am, make sure 50% of the papers are presented by the industry. That barrier will be
Yes,
broken.
definitely, sir. Definitely.
That we need to break that barrier. Let the industry people come here. And ma'am, let me tell you, industry people are not looking for any financial compensations to share their data, to share their views, to come to the college, to come to the institute. They are not very adamant on that. So I would request that let's try to break that barrier between the industry and the academia. Call them for your conferences, let them share their views with the students, and let us continue talking to them, right? Getting into MOUs, sharing our resources with them, their resources with us. The things will improve. You do, ma'am, one thing. You ask a permission from your institute for 1 week official off to work in the industry, and go and talk to the industry that you want to spend 1 week there. I'm sure it is not difficult, and you will be able to break that barrier.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Just try it out. Here, some of the teachers have taken this lead, and they have said that we will spend that 1 week during our summer holidays. So what they have done is that just to experiment whether the industry welcomes them or not, they said that we will go during the summer holidays. There are about 6 weeks holidays, so 1 week we will spend in the industry, and they have really given an output that yes, the industry is ready to share their technology with the teachers. Try it out, ma'am. It will be successful. Anybody else who would like to add something?
Like we are discussing about.
Thank you so much, sir, for your guidance.
Ma'am, just try it out and try to give me a feedback that whether it really worked or not. Let's try to break the barrier.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely in coming days, I will try and I'll give you feedback, sir, accordingly.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, please.
Sir, I was thinking that like we are discussing about the undergrad and the postgrad student. I hope most of my faculty would agree with that. Most of our research scholars, like PhD, I have done my PhD in dentistry. Most of the complaints come from the industry that whatever you are researching now in your literature, in your study, it has been done so many days back in our industry. Matlab, as an academy, we are so much lagging behind.
Yeah.
So from your input, I was thinking of that, sir. Can we say that whenever a scholar is trying to have a coursework for 1 year, rather than discussing their research problem, how to proceed for the next 4 years, 5 years down the line, we can also come to table with industry experts and come with their supervisor, what is actually happening with the industry, and they can also dig down their literature as well. And definitely the research topic would be more concurrent as compared to.
Yes, you're right. So before that you decide a topic for the research, let the industry give its inputs.
Definitely.
Yes, that is a very good proposal.
That they can sit with the supervisors.
Yeah.
They discuss with the scholar.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
What are the area they are trying to.
Because then whatever is the research, it will be used by the industry also. Right? So one is that they will give you some inputs and they will use your output. It's a very good session that we can decide on the topics based on the concurrent requirement of the industry by involving them into the project, because we may not be aware where they have reached. That is what I was trying to say. The faculty members are not aware of the latest technology that is being used. Thank you. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you.